What do you hate the most about Reddit? What is the weirdest movie you've ever seen? What is the weirdest compliment you've ever received? I'm a dude. Some other dude said, your eyelashes must be the envy of your mother. I was a very confused straight guy. I get a lot of compliments on my voice, which then turns into, I bet you sing. No, I wish my singing voice on no one. My eyes. Not objectively weird, but I found it to be so because my eyes are very dark brown, almost to where you can't see my pupil. And I always thought compliments were reserved for lighter eye colors. There's no restriction on compliments. You can be complimented on anything. A lady at church said, you have no idea what your organ playing does for me, especially those thrilling toccatas that make my pew vibrate. I don't know how to take that one. That's as weird. You have nice cheeks. Face cheeks. Oh, well, thanks for the clarification, I guess. My friend said, it's absurd how good you are with women, and I have no clue why. It's pretty backhanded, but true, and I even know why. I really like how you type. Now that's a very specific compliment. Maybe they're just into you, who knows? I have both been complimented on my name and my teeth, so pick yourself. You have really sharp canine teeth. IDK if it was a compliment, but it still confuses me. You wear so many layers of jackets. You must be warm inside. Inside the jackets? Yeah, I would imagine. You are very stoic. I can't read you at all. This one really rides the line of if it's a compliment or not, because I can't tell. What is something you are better at than most people? I am better than most people at being not sure, being faithful, and singing. I have a good memory. Using the search option. Deadlifting. Part of me wishes I went to the gym so I could understand why people like deadlifting so much, because it looks painful and awful. What is a TV show that virtually nobody hates? How It's Made. It's a very non-offensive show. I mean, just watching how things are made. Bob Ross's Joy of Painting. I feel like there's probably a couple people who don't like it, but I don't know them. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Reading Rainbow. The Joy of Painting. If you've got kids, you know. Bluey for the win. I don't have kids and I don't plan on having kids, but yes, Bluey for the win. Anything with David Attenborough. The Magic School Bus. Now you do gotta clarify, are we talking about the original Magic School Bus or are we talking about the new one that kinda looks like poo-poo? None. I'm sorry if it upsets you, but there's bound to be some idiot that's going to hate your favorite show. It's true, unfortunately. People just like to not like things. The Muppet Show. Sesame Street. I mean, hey, I'm sure there's a few kids out there that really hate Sesame Street. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I really wish I could get inside the mind of people who don't like The Last Airbender because I've met a few of them and I don't know how they're living. Futurama. Still a little nervous for that new season they're thinking about, but we'll see what happens, I guess. What single trope can cause you to fully lose interest in a movie/show? If an entire conundrum can be solved by just someone waiting 1 minute for the other person to explain but chooses not to. Irritates me to no end, and I'd much rather stop watching the movie. Fathers that are stupid/literally cannot parent for comedic value. The useless dad trope. Something that can be fixed right away with just a conversation. A lot of older Ben Stiller and Vince Vaughn comedies are like this. If they just took 2 seconds to communicate or not lie about something really stupid, their partner will understand. There would be zero conflict. But you see, because it's a girl, they just wouldn't understand this kind of stuff, It's because there's a girl, but I'm a man, so I know everything. She was a busy business lady that only had time for business. He was some jackass womanizer with chlamydia. Will these two incompatible people go through a series of unlikely events, fall in love, have some minor misunderstandings, then get together in the last few minutes? Find out this fall. I can't really explain it properly, but I think this type of rom-com was just purely a product of the 2008 recession. Disobedient, stupid children who ultimately end up getting their parents killed or put them in danger. That was Heroes every season. The cheerleader started every season being idiotically defiant only to realize that her dad was right at the end of every season. Character dies at the end of the story for no reason, just because of shock value, and they needed to kill someone. The clumsy, nerdy, awkward girl, who are normally played by the hottest actresses out there. Every time they do that, it really defeats the purpose of the message of nerdy, awkward girl gets the guy. pie, cop with family problems. Yeah, we get it. The job's so important that they've sacrificed family time and regret it. And now they want to be the parent that they failed to be in the past, but this new case is so important. Also, every single cop keeps a secret bottle of whiskey in their top desk drawer. I'm not a cop and I don't have drawers on my desk, but if I did, I'd have fun little toys in there. Shaky cam. I hate shaky cam. I think shaky cam can be good, but sometimes people will really just throw their hands around holding that camera so you can't see anything. All the men are diverse in age and attractiveness, and 2 to 3 total women are 20-something bombshells. Amnesia storyline. It is a little bit tired. I am kind of sick of seeing it, but sometimes they make it interesting. What's something extremely overrated that people buy anyways? Those new release Nikes. They've never been all that to me. My boyfriend might kill me for this because he's a fanatic, but Starbucks coffee. Overrated, but extremely successful. Probably the factor of convenience and now sentiment with holiday traditions, but I've found many other places where the coffee is just genuinely so much better. If you want quality coffee, don't go to Starbucks. Like, go to your local coffee shop. They more than likely have much better quality overall. Expensive diamonds and jewelry. You know, diamonds are basically just rock poop, you know? Like, it's just so much pressure and pulled down. It's just rock poop. Why do you want that on your finger? Shoes. Sneakerheads baffle me. Who is spending $150+ on shoes you won't even wear outside? Makes no sense. That's how I feel about a lot of luxury brands like Supreme, like Gucci, all these other things that people don't really even wear. They just have it for the status symbol. Video game insurance. I've never in my life heard of video game insurance, so I think you might have just been scammed. Anything in a free-to-play game. Looking at you, Fortnite people. Subscriptions to Twitch girls. I mean, I guess, but also, like, mind your business? I don't know. Funkos. Definitely overrated, but I mean, hey, you can like what you like. It doesn't matter. Subscription boxes. It really sucks because years ago I was getting Loot Crate and they had good quality stuff and then they kind of slowly went downhill. Anything made by Salt Bae. I think generally anything made and sold by somebody who's only popular for one meme isn't gonna be great. Literally any Apple product. However, I am no better than any of these people. All my Apple products last forever. My MacBook is almost 10 years old and is indestructible. Defo value for money. I mean, sure, like they're constructed very well until they decide to give you a software update that bricks your device. What's the best pie? Not a big fan of pie myself, so I'll stay quiet. Warm blueberry with some vanilla ice cream. Okay, that actually sounds really nice. I want to go savory, but some of them depend on the definition of pie. My absolute favorite, if it's just anything called a pie, is shepherd's pie. Okay, can't lie. Shepherd's pie? Banger. Oh my god. Oh, it's so good. Pecan. Or is it pecan? I never learned how to actually say it. 3.14159265359. No, keep going. You gotta say the rest of it if you're gonna bring up pie. Pizza pie. Obvi. Pizza pie makes me think Chicago style, and I have to say, boiling hot take here, I hate Chicago style pizza. Cream. Duh. Oh, I see you. Naughty. Steak and cheese. I'm sorry. Who is hurting you by giving you a steak and cheese pie? Boston cream. Coconut cream. Apple. I feel like apple pie is a good introduction to pie because, like, I've had a few and they're standard. Chicken pot pie. Oh my god, I almost completely forgot about pot pies and I think I need to go to the store now. Probably banoffee pie. Made with a graham cracker crust, a layer of toffee, slices of fresh bananas, and topped with whipped cream. So light and simple, but very satisfying. Great with coffee. You might have just unlocked my mind because that does sound very tasty. Why would anyone want to live in a cold climate? For me personally, I think snow is really cool and I can handle the cold because you bundle up. In the heat, what do? Take your skin off? I grew up in a cold climate and I lived for a while in a hot climate. It didn't feel natural to me. I guess it's what I'm used to. Allergies. When it gets below freezing, mold and pollen producers go away. It's immediately allergy relief until the spring. Not as many dangerous insects/animals. Oh yeah, that's another huge plus, like barely any mosquitoes and hardly any spiders in the house. Oh, I'm living the dream. Our ancestors moved here because the snow renews the farmland. There are droughts, but nothing like you'd see in a hot climate. There are no hurricanes. Tornadoes are an extreme rarity. The land and the air and the sky go on forever. And we're here because we've grown accustomed to it. Being sweaty and sticky f***ing sucks, LOL. I gotta agree with them. It's awful. I run extremely hot. The cold is instantly calming, while heat immediately raises my anxiety. Give me cold AF over hot any day. As a lifelong northerner, I can always layer up. If I'm in too warm of a climate, there comes a point where I can only take off so much before authorities get involved. I hate the heat with a raging passion, and in the summer, I can't wear shorts or tank tops because I burn faster than a match to gasoline. Heat is just a major inconvenience to me. I can always put on a jacket outside and be warm-ish. I'm still going to be sweating even if I'm naked in a hot climate. No bugs and no weather so hot it makes you dizzy. The cold never bothered me anyway. Oh my god, it's been years, okay? Can we just let it go? What is your first impression when you hear someone saying, I go to therapy? I guess a general good vibe from them because they recognize there might be something wrong, so they're trying to fix it. Bro, that person trusts me enough to open up about it? I feel honored. Good for them. So much better than hearing, I have all this pain buried deep inside and I refuse to speak to a therapist. It's the truth, honestly. This person is trying to better themselves and or an aspect of their life. Good job. Mild jealousy. Literally me. I want to be able to do that. Where are the magical hidden funds people have to be able to do it or even just afford health insurance? I do feel like that's an aspect people don't talk about enough, is that sometimes for some people, therapy is just unaffordable. Even if they want to do it, they might not be able to. I'm glad people are working on themselves. Court ordered or just for fun. I think you gotta be real careful on telling this to somebody because that could come off very rude. I say, sir, this is a Wendy's. Well, I have an exceptionally bad relationship with therapy, so normally my first thought is something like, why would you spend that much money on someone who probably doesn't really care? Then I realize my experience was different and I support them best I can. Good on you for recognizing like your own personal bias towards it and letting somebody try it regardless. If you just found the equivalent of $98,100 in cash in the woods, what would you do? I'd probably bring it home and like over the course of like a month, slowly deposit it into my bank to hopefully not raise any questions. I would live the rest of my life stressing over why it wasn't an even 100K. It is a very specific number. Why not just 100K? Why just round up, please? The fact that it is an amount that specific makes me wonder if you actually did find $98,100 in the woods. Oh yeah, the OP is just asking for real advice, like please, what do I do with this? I'd buy more woods. Clearly, there's a relationship to abandoned money and woods. I'd own all the forest money and you suckers will be left with the squirrels. Your bloodline is weak and you will not survive the winter. I've seen No Country for Old Men. This doesn't end well. Ooh, yep, you do got a good point there. I'd start looking for the other half of DB Cooper's cash. Steal that hide it, spend nothing. Wait for a period of 6 months. You know, that is actually closer to what my strategy would be. Like, wait it out for a good while, just so, you know, really know it's safe. r/oddly specific. Check for trail cameras. Cover your tracks. Delete this post. Yeah, you don't want any evidence to be able to track it back to you, so maybe don't ask this question if you did find it. I'd turn in the $50,000, of course. You mean $40,000. I think you mean $10. Anyone lose this dollar in the woods? I mean, at that point, just don't turn in anything, really. I'd go to r/AskReddit and ask people what they do so that I'd have options on what I should do. In your opinion, what is the greatest TV show of all time? Band of Brothers. Either The Wire, Breaking Bad, or The Sopranos, depending on my mood the day you ask me. Okay, what's your mood today? Like, you can't we're asking you now. Come on, give me your real answer. Futurama. Monty Python's Flying Circus. Is that a TV show? I thought that was another movie. Battlestar Galactica. I thought I'd hate it when Starbuck was cast as a woman. I was so wrong. Interesting that you thought it would be bad because woman? Weird. Avatar: The Last Airbender. Twin Peaks. I really need to start watching Twin Peaks because the aesthetic and the vibe, it just looks so cool. Season 1 through 4 of Game of Thrones. It hurts so bad that season 5 through 8 are just not that good. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. BCS is really that good? It's better than Breaking Bad IMO, and I honestly loved Breaking Bad. It's a much more character-driven story and has much more clever, intricate ways of progressing the plot. If you can get past the aging actors, I'd say it's absolutely worth multiple watches. It is something that's so weird just having the actors being so much older than the characters they're supposed to be playing, but I mean, if it's good, you know? I'm surprised no one said Mr. Robot. That show is a masterpiece. I do still need to get around to that because a lot of people were raving about that show a good few years ago. People who played video games before the year 2000, what was the most most interesting game you encountered in those days? Mecha Warriors 2 was so awesome to see, very visually cool. Playing Diablo 1 on Battle.net back in the day was wild. Half-Life, ugh, just a pure classic. StarCraft, first RTS game for me with a rich storyline. Expansions and multiplayer made it viable for 15 plus years. Doom on Windows 95. Bubble Bobble, I'm sure I'd understand it now, but as a child, I did not understand what I was supposed to be doing. Myst, still need to play this one. I love me a good puzzle game, and people say Myst is awesome for it. I played Ocarina of Time in 1998/99, so probably that. Quake. It's kind of crazy to see such old games still have a lot of attention because there's still like a whole esports category for Quake, I'm pretty sure. Zelda Link to the Past is timeless. GoldenEye 007 on N64. Gamers today are so spoiled with FPS games because, God, playing GoldenEye now is a little bit of a chore, but it's still fun. Earthworm Jim. I never managed to beat that game when I was a kid, but I just loved the environment and the weird, creepy aesthetic. What movie could you watch over and over again and already have watched 1,000 times and never get bored of it? I think recently I have two of them. It would be Everything Everywhere All at Once and La La Land. The Fifth Element. One of these days I'll get to it. Lord of the Rings. The Princess Bride. Goodfellas. Terminator 2. I need to rewatch Terminator. I liked them. Snatch. It's an amazing film. Funny, great soundtrack, and excellent storytelling. Shaun of the Dead. And Hot Fuzz. Any of the Cornetto trilogy, really. The Big Lebowski. Shawshank Redemption. While it is a really good movie, I don't think I can watch it over and over just because it's kind of slow in my opinion. Jurassic Park 1993. I mean, just to watch it for the effects alone is, it's so good for the time. Office Space never gets old. Oh brother, where art thou? Groundhog Day. Careful rewatching that movie because you might start feeling like you're in your own Groundhog Day. It's weird. What's your go-to joke to tell someone? Kind of a lazy one, but if somebody asks me to do something, I just say no, right as I'm doing whatever they asked me to do. Whenever I'm asked to tell a joke, I literally forget any joke I ever heard in my life. That one question somehow manages to delete all information in your brain in that moment. You ever notice when geese fly south for the winter in a V pattern? One side of the V is always longer than the other. You know why that is? There's more geese on that side. This is one of my two go-to dad jokes. The other, do you know why scuba divers, when they have all their gear on and are ready to go, sit on the side of the boat and fall backwards into the water? Because if they fell forwards, they'd still be in the boat. I told this joke to a small group on a boat ride on the way to go scuba diving. They looked at me like I was special. Sounds like those other boat goers just don't like fun. What's a pirate's favorite letter? You'd think it'd be R, but his first love be the C. A limbo dancer walks into a bar, gets disqualified. I don't think I've ever heard that one before. That's cute. I like it. A nurse proctologist pulls a rectal thermometer out of her shirt pocket and thinks to herself, some asshole stole my pen. Oh my god, that's actually a good one. That's clever. I like it. What did the fish say when he swam into a wall? Damn. What's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint. What's brown and rhymes with Snoop? Dr. Dre. Okay, now that's clever too. Now you're thinking with portals. There once was a maid from Belfast who had a magnificent not pretty and pink as you may well think, but was gray, had long ears and ate grass. There once was a fellow named Mr. Sweeney. His girlfriend was such a great meanie. She had a hatch on her snatch with 2 locks and a latch. She could only be screwed by Houdini. Very rare you see people making limerick jokes, but I like these. These are fun to say. Why did the sperm cross the road? Because I wore the wrong socks today. Ew, gross. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Followed by, what's brown, sticky, and runs round a field? A fence. Never heard that second one. I give it a B+. What do you do if you see a spaceman? Park in it, man. There's probably a better way of delivering that, and I did not do it justice. My girlfriend's grandfather always says this one. I was voted the second best looking man while working on the railroad. Everyone else was tied for first. I'm pretty sure I'm dumb because I don't understand it other than like people tied to the railroad maybe? What's the difference between a hippo and a Zippo? One's real heavy and the other is a little lighter. What everyday item is designed poorly but we all just sort of accept it? Soap pumps. At least the pre-filled ones. The tube always goes right to the middle where there's a divot in the plastic. So you aren't out of soap, but the soap is just around that divot where the pipe can't reach it. Craft dinner boxes with the push to open tab. I have never seen it work as it's supposed to in the directions. I own the classic Pyrex glass measuring cups in my kitchen. It has a spout, yet still spills all over the place when you pour from it. Despite this, it's a very common item to own. Sun visors in cars are the same in all cars and mostly crap. They leave gaps, etc. It's the same in a Bugatti and a Fiat. The easy open Ziploc packaging. And when you open the package, it's below the Ziploc lining and you still have to fold the bag closed. All that ink used on the package and there's no proper line drawn on the bag showing where the Ziploc is located. A dark red line would be nice. Are you reading this, Walmart? The Reddit app. New Reddit just sucks. You're just realizing that now? I feel like someone has yet to nail toaster design perfectly. I think toasters are fine. They're a little too bulky for my taste, but they're normal. Umbrella. Okay, it kinda works to keep you dry, but only if there's no wind at all and the rain is on a dead vertical drop. Otherwise, they turn inside out with the merest gust of wind and only serve to poke people's eyes out on the street. Plus, when you fold them back down, they just drop everywhere. In fairness, many attempts have been made to address that problem, but people won't carry an umbrella if it's heavy or inconvenient. The rise of extending compact umbrellas has exacerbated the situation. Air blow hand dryers in public toilets. As far as I can see, they do next to nothing. Also, playground seesaws. The end result is usually children of different weights angrily arguing. The refrigerator's through-the-door ice dispenser shoots pieces of ice onto the floor, no matter how carefully you hold the glass against the unit. Kids' cups at restaurants. Make the cups wide at the bottom and taper it upwards. Boom. Significantly less spills. Use the idea as you wish. If you get rich, remember me. I like where your head's at, but we're dealing with children here, and they know how to make messes regardless. The financial system. What are you talking about? Capitalism's great. It's awesome. I love working every day to barely pay my bills. Saucepan handles that get so hot you have to use an oven glove to pick them up. That's where ideally you're not getting metal handle saucepans, but that is kind of hard to find because every company loves to make them metal. If you could go back to any year, which would it be? Alright, yeah, easy answer. Go back in time and buy stock in Apple and Bitcoin or whatever. Sophomore year of high school, and I would have bought $20 worth of Bitcoin. See, there it is. We got it. 2005. I was still young, and knowing what I know now, I'd make so many different choices in high school. I'd be more outgoing, take more chances, and play things less safe. Plus, I loved the subcultures, music, and movies of that era. Internet still had a bit of a Wild West flair. Everything wasn't owned by like 3 corporations. I was born in 82, so I'm going back to 81 and throwing a brick at my dad's balls. You know what? Gotta give you some points for creativity. I never would have thought of that. Most people's answers I've seen here so far are 2016. That's my answer too. But it's so fucking strange that it feels like only 4 years ago. But no, it's 7 fucking no good years since 2016. I will cry. Honestly, don't think I'd pick 2016 just since I was still in high school, and that was awful. 2016. Gonna save Harambe. I'm gonna forever stay mad at the Harambe meme because of it. There was a percentage of voters in the United States that voted for Harambe in the presidential election in 2016. The meme went too far. 1999. So I could take a ride to my old neighborhood and sing "Hit Me Baby One More Time." 1997. I always think it's 97. I joke about it all the time. Maybe I should actually ask why. Probably like 2006, so I can tell my family to invest in a lot of shit. Especially before that housing crash. Gotta make sure they buy something. I wouldn't go back in any year. I'm very busy with these times and grateful for a country without war, which was different in the past. I also wouldn't go back in time because my family and boyfriend are too important for my life. I can't go without them in the past. Aw, that's kinda wholesome. 2500 BC. Go visit Egypt. Like, sure, it'd be cool, but you'd also probably be killed wearing modern clothes. None of them. Thanks, but no thanks. What song is playing on repeat in hell? Probably that new Meghan Trainor song, like Mother or whatever she called it. Baby Shark. That Oh No TikTok song. And it's announced each time by that stupid TikTok voice. The song that doesn't end, or the It's a Small World ride music at Disneyland. I'm sorry, but all of these comments are incorrect. The song that plays in hell is whatever your absolute favorite song of all time is. They will take something you love and slowly destroy you with it, which would be like kind of a bummer. The Justin Timberlake Trolls song, Happy by Pharrell, Anything by the Black Eyed Peas and Meghan Trainor, What's New Pussycat by Tom Jones, with the occasional It's Not Unusual sprinkled in. We're on Easy Street, and it feels so sweet. Yummy by Justin Bieber. Oh, I completely forgot about that song, but I can already hear it in my head. With Arms Wide Open by Creed. Baby Shark, but played in bagpipes. Oh, yeah, you just invented the worst possible audio hallucination for me. How dare you? All I want for Christmas is you. Yeah, but I mean, we're already tortured enough up here. I feel like even hell's sick of it. Hey There Delilah by the Plain White T's. Ugh. I mean, it's not the worst song to hear over and over again. It's literally a country music station. Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas album. On repeat. Forever. This feels like it's turning into a I hate Christmas music kind of question. Friday by Rebecca Black. Which seemingly innocent YouTube channel has a dark side most people don't know about? Those restoration channels are mostly fake. Pro tip, if the object they are restoring has a nice, even coating of rust all over it, it means they used bleach to rust it. Honestly, most of those animal rescue channels from places around Asia like Thailand, Vietnam, and the Middle East in general, etc. Basically all of them, many of them being big channels, are just all BS, where they place the animals in predicaments and dangerous situations only to then record themselves saving them, then reuse those same animals in tons of other videos. It sucks because all the comments are usually super supportive too, because they believe that shit. It's really disgusting seeing those. Blippi, who my son loves, has a video of himself purposefully shitting on his friends, which is still circulating on YouTube, LMAO. Like physically or like verbally? I need to know the context. Most family-centered channels, Red Letter Media, have been outed in several states for voluntary indecent exposure. I heard that some of the children's channels have some weird stuff going on, and it's not good for children's development. Peppa Pig, for instance, some other one I forgot the name of, and Cocomelon. Most amazing top 10. In the span of a year, changed from legit good creepypasta content and true crime to fear-mongering and regurgitating the same BS over and over. I haven't watched any of their post-2020 content in years. 5-Minute Crafts. I feel like 5-Minute Crafts is like violating some kind of law with every video they make. What is the weirdest movie you've ever seen? Oh god, maybe this movie called Freaked. It's got Alex Winter from Bill and Ted, and it's so just weird. Swiss Army Man. Oh, the Daniels just know how to make a weird movie. Eraserhead is so weird and perplexing. Rubber. A movie about a killer tire. Kind of. I chanced upon it late night on cable. It made me uncomfortable, as if something about it wasn't safe in some way. I've seen it again since then, and it's interesting. Brazil. Oh my god, I just pulled up some pictures on Google and ew. Gummo. The Holy Mountain for sure. Blue Velvet. The Human Centipede. Very weird, but I feel like I'm like desensitized because of how popular that one got. Human Centipede. You People. I expected a comedy. All I got was cringe. Annihilation. I felt high after watching it because it BC the movie as akin to taking psychedelics. Super weird. Not reading the books. I forgot Annihilation was based off a book. I might check it out. What's a non-obvious sign someone is rich? Most of the time, they will stay quiet about money, but never balk when presented with a bill. They will be very selective in those they choose to be friends with, for various legal reasons. They wear very nice clothing without any brand identification. Even if I were a millionaire, I'd still be wearing trashy t-shirts from Hot Topic, okay? In my experience as a waiter in a fine dining establishment, they treat you like a normal fucking human. Not sure if my boss coined the term, but a 100K millionaire will treat you like you're just the help and make you feel like less of a person. Casually having expensive hobbies. Stuff like sailing, skiing, and golfing. Especially in areas where those activities aren't as accessible and if they've been doing it for a long time. You live in the Midwest, but you've been surfing since you were 10? Probably rich. Hasn't got shit all over him. Must be a king. Real generational wealth keeps an extremely low profile. They have no digital footprint. They actually pay people to keep information about them off the internet and out of any publications. They will keep a low profile, driving cars that blend in. Nice, reliable vehicles, but nothing too flashy. Doesn't bother with the pistachios that are hard to open. I don't know if that's really an indicator of rich, that might just be an indicator of lazy, but they do kind of go together, huh? If their couches don't touch the wall. My couches don't touch the wall, but it's because I have a weird living room layout. They are quiet when the discussion is about cost of living pressures and will deflect the questions from themselves and or nudge the conversation into a different direction. Went to a good university, but is kind of dumb. Ah, so they didn't go to their classes. Never talks about money. Isn't crying. Admittedly, I will say rich people can be sad and cry too, but they also have the money to make it better, so it's a little different. What do you hate the most about Reddit? I love Reddit, but it's an echo chamber. chamber. Everyone has the same opinions on everything, and you don't get to see unique takes on any subject because they get downvoted to hell. When someone who is an expert on something says something completely correct and gets downvoted. Doesn't matter if you're a doctor or like a master in your field, you're not smart enough to know what you're talking about. Karma. Some of the mods are very arbitrary, make an opinion about trivial shit and the hate that ensues because other people don't know how to accept different views and just be able to disagree. Groupthink, downvoting, and upvoting. Plus, the downvote was originally for things that don't contribute to the thread, but now it is a measure of popular opinion, as most other social media websites do. Redditors, the redundant questions. Admittedly, there are a lot of questions that are very samey. The stupidity, the ignorance, the immaturity. Well, you're already in the wrong spot looking for maturity on any social media website, because you're not gonna find it. Everyone on here is so bitter and spiteful about everything. I get that places like Reddit attract those kinds of people, but seriously, lighten up. Constant hate towards religion. Not any one in particular, but religion as a whole. Yet Reddit rules say don't demean or insult specific groups. It would be nicer if we could all just not hate each other for like 5 minutes, but now I know that you're gonna hate me because the video's over. Thank you all once again for watching. My name is Brandon and I will talk to you another day. Bye!